I'm Sal.
I'm Beth.
We are the Brewery Lovers. The California episode. Boy, we covered some ground in California, but not as much as we'd hoped.
No, there's so much ground to cover in California, and unfortunately the weather was not in our favor.
No, but we did some cool stuff in California. Mostly Southern California, where it was kind of warm.
Almost exclusively Southern California.
We did see some surfers.
We did.
You know, it's Southern
We went
California.
to the beach.
Yeah, you got to see surfers. This is Joshua Tree National Park. What an amazing place. The Joshua trees are actually a type of not cactus. It's a succulent. What's it related to? Do you remember?
Nope.
They look like Dr. Seuss trees, is what they look like.
But when you go to that park, it's really cool. We entered through the southern entrance, which is Colorado desert.
Yeah.
And then as you're driving through, and that's like all creosote bushes. Mm-hmm. And then as you're driving through, it turns into the Mojave Desert, and the vegetation completely changes. And you start to see Joshua trees.
And some of them are pretty spectacular. But the really spectacular part of Joshua Tree is the terrain. These just boulders that look like they were cast aside, like somebody knocked over a big pile of rocks and just left it there. It's really, really amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah, the park that we stayed in was called Jumbo Rocks.
Yeah, Jumbo Rocks,
yeah.
The campground. Yeah, inside the park. This is Skull Rock, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, we did that trail.
But a little cold and windy, very windy. Well, boy, what a beautiful place. Wouldn't want to be there in the summer, but...
Nope.
Yeah.
A lot of the parks we went to, I'm glad we saw them when it was cold.
Yeah, it's not crowded.
They get really hot in the summer.
Yeah, not crowded and not...
Crowded and hot.
Not, like, life-threateningly hot. So this was one of our big California destinations. Is a town called Oceanside. It's near San Diego. It's where my first cousin Margaret lives. And Margaret and I hadn't seen each other in a long, long time because she's been in California for a while. And we had a little reunion.
That was
fun. Look how cute Oceanside is. There's seals on the beach here.
Seals and sea lions.
Yeah. And there's Margaret.
And food. There was lots of food. Yeah. Margaret is a fabulous cook.
Margaret is a fabulous cook. And she's Italian, so of course. But we really had a nice reunion. It was great. We spent more time than we expected to, right? Than we planned to.
Yes.
Almost a week. And I think we would have stayed longer, but we didn't want to annoy my cousin.
Right.
But I don't think she would have minded, but it's like... But we really did have a great time. And she was such a great host. She drove us around. We climbed a volcano.
Yeah, she knows where to go hiking.
Yeah, she's an avid hiker and really good at it. And beautiful views here from the top of this little mountain that we
can see the ocean. That's the ocean over there to the left.
And look how pretty this sky is. Unfortunately, the weather was starting to turn. It was nice when we got there, but then it started to get like this, and rain systems were coming in. And then blizzard systems were coming in.
Yeah.
We had plans to go up north and do all kinds of stuff. No. This is it's a weird, echo thing.
Yeah, it's a spot where you stand and you clap there and it echoes all around.
The camera doesn't really pick it up. But it was...
So we just look silly.
It is very interesting to be there. That's like a thing you do on Oceanside. Beautiful sunset.
Gorgeous sunsets. We're used to sunrises over the ocean, so it's beautiful to see the sunset.
Did you say you dunked your toe in the Pacific?
You bet I did.
Okay, good.
Yep. On one of my walks with Margaret, I went into the water.
Yeah, we were looking for the green flash there. I don't think anybody saw one.
Not that day.
So here's San Diego. Again, great host. She drove us around. We didn't have to drive bleep through the city. But this place is so beautiful. My goodness. Mm-hmm. And it was a really pretty spectacular day, too.
Balboa Park in San Diego.
Yeah, the California sky. Old kind of Spanish architecture here. This church, I guess it is. They had a really cool trolley. Electric trolley. We did not ride it. But these giant eucalyptus trees, and that were imported from Australia, years and years and years ago. There's a whole Australian garden in Balboa Park. All these plants that are native to Australia. And there's some big storms had come through, and a couple of these went down. And you really don't appreciate how big they are until you see one lying on the ground. Like, oh my goodness, that was scary. Like, these are serious trees.
Yes.
People could have seriously gotten hurt. They came down in the middle of the night. And there was nobody around, thank God. So, but look at the size of that thing. Crazy. Of course, the reason for going to San Diego was to do breweries, because San Diego is a reputation for having some really, really good breweries.
Yes, they
do. A
do.
lot of really good breweries. The challenge...
More than we could do in a day.
that's the challenge in San Diego is how do you pick them, This place was okay. It was really cute.
It was adorable.
Yeah, they had these old doorknobs for tap pools. Now, there's another video on all the breweries, so we're not going into detail here. You want to know about the beer and all that stuff, you can look at the other one. So this is kind of a quick hit. So this is Half Door. This cool old bottle collection. Nice place. It was an old house right near the ballpark.
Even though we're going to go through the breweries quickly, did you want to open this?
Yes. Oh, we have beer?
We have beer.
Imagine that. We have beer from California. This is from Virgin Beer Company in Carlsbad, actually. That's a cool label, isn't it?
It is a cool label. It's got a map of New Zealand
it's
the North and South Island.
It's a New Zealand beer, so.
And it specifies which hops are in there and which malts they used. So.
And there's it's Clever Kiwi. Okay.
Yeah,
See,
because it's a New Zealand hops.
He's got his little pencil and his eyeglasses. That sounds really good. Is there kiwi fruit in it, or is it just named for the bird?
We're going to find
We're going to find out. Clever Kiwi, New Zealand IPA from Virgin Beer.
Kiwi is kind of the national bird.
Yeah. And they call themselves Kiwis too, right?
Yeah, they do.
The people that live there?
Yep. It's super clear.
Yeah.
Sparkling.
Nice color. Nice head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice looking beer. Teeny tiny bit of haze. But barely.
I might not have cleaned the glasses that well. Is there any actual sticking areas?
No, it's not that. It's just it's really bright, but not absolutely 100%. But yeah, you get the New Zealand hop thing happening. It's got Nelson in it, right?
Yes. Nelson
and
hop.
Sapphire or Saphir.
Saphir.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
If you know how to pronounce it, you can put it in the comments.
It's really tasty. It's very light. What's the ABV on this?
It's only 5%.
Yeah, that's a sessionable, extremely tasty, and very fresh tasting. Even though it's not very fresh.
It's not very fresh. We were not in San Diego yesterday.
So Nelson Sauvin, I think that's how you pronounce it, is a really interesting hop because it actually throws flavors of white wine. This is not pronounced. It's in there.
No, I'm still getting tropical fruit.
Tropical fruit is mainly what you get from New Zealand hops, but you also get white wine from Nelson. Nelson can be kind of funky if you use too much. Some people love it, but this is a nice balance. It's a really nice beer. Here's North Park. Again, highly rated. We talked to a friend of ours as a brewer used to be a brewer in San Diego. I think he's moved to San Francisco now, right? I forget. But he gave us some recommendations. Here's Virgin. Happy Crabs. Society or Societe, I don't know how you pronounce it.
Lovely
yeah,
outside
nice patio.
Drinking area.
Lost Abbey to Church, this place, wow.
This was so cute.
Yeah, off the hook. The beers here were off the hook.
But I was a little confused. Are they flip-flops on that glass?
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah.
This was probably our favorite, purely in terms of beer, no pun, pure project. The beer was absolutely right down the middle. And it was also a really nice place. So, thank you, Margaret, for driving us around San Diego to do some breweries. Okay, this is a really interesting place. This is coming into Trona, California. Trona is basically a bona fide ghost town.
Almost, yep.
It's where they mine the borax, right at the edge of Death Valley. And this giant complex, industrial complex of borax processing is shrinking because they don't it's just not as big as it used to be. And in fact, you can see a lot of the buildings look like they're half demolished. That's because they pull the metal out of the buildings and sell the metal, when they stop using the buildings.
Yeah, there used to be 7,000 people living in this town, and now it's under 1,000.
The high school could not field a football team, right, in recent years.
But they do have a football field that's dirt because the nature of the minerals in the soil
can't grow grass.
They can't grow grass.
So they basically steamroll an area. It's like a giant clay tennis court. Here's Bleep pulling into the Trona Airport,
which is where we stayed.
I mean, you feel like you are in absolute middle of nowhere here. It was really quite interesting. Phones don't work.
No phones work.
There's one little store, like one little general store.
Yep.
The dollar store was boarded up. Like all these little businesses that these factories supported over the years. Car mechanics and you name it. Burger places.
All empty.
Empty. It was really, really creepy and kind of interesting. You can see the salt there down on the ground. That's the salt deposit that they're mining. And Navy radar there. Not actually part of the airport. But it's a working airport. And, boy, what a great harvest host. Or was it a Boondockers welcome? One.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That was really, really interesting. And this place, it's so highly rated in the harvest host ecosystem that we decided we had to go. But we knew John and Mary had gone, right?
Yeah, we knew other Echo people had
We had friends that you'll see them in a minute. We had friends that had done it, and it's like, you got to check this place out. It's just crazy. It's like you're in a movie set. It really is. And the nearest town was, how long did it take to get to the Walmart?
It took us at least a half an hour.
Yeah, maybe 40 minutes. So, pretty crazy.
To the next town that had a library and a Walmart.
Liquor
store.
No.
Petroglyph. Playground.
Playground, yeah, that was interesting. Now we're coming into Death Valley, which was kind of the reason we went through Trona is because we were getting to Death Valley. Death Valley is a great place to go in the middle of winter, not so much in the middle of summer.
It was warm and sunny, and
although it's disputed, the highest recorded temperature in the history of the United States was recorded at Death Valley, but the meteorologists aren't sure if it was accurate. But what is it, like 130?
Right now.
Yeah.
It's summer.
It gets into the 120s there in the summer. We had a great time because we were biking.
Yep.
And the little sweaters. I actually got chilly at night. But look at this landscape. My goodness. It's just so beautiful. Here's John and Mary. They're our other Echo friends from North Carolina who recommended the Trona Airport.
Yeah, the photos and the videos, people say this about national parks all the time. Do not do them justice.
Never. No.
You just can't imagine how amazing it is until you're actually in it.
So we had a wee Echo reunion, just two Echoes here. We had been together in Quartzite, and we got together again at this is one of the Death Valley campgrounds. Again, it's just a great time to go to Death Valley because there's nobody there. It's just fantastic. And
a little
campfire action. And here's the lowest point in the continental United States. Of course, Beth found a hole to stand in.
So I was really in the lowest point.
Beth was 6 inches lower than everybody else. And that's like a river of salt, basically. It looks like ice or snow, but it's pure salt.
And there's a marking way up there on the mountain somewhere that says sea level.
Right, and you look way up.
And you're like, that's sea level?
But look how beautiful this place is. There's all these like spots of color. It looks like somebody just
green and red.
Somebody just threw a bucket of paint, a big bucket of paint. But just this, it's stark and obviously crazy dry, and the ground is made out of salt, and it's just. I had no expectations of Death Valley. I knew what it was. I knew that the salt was there and all, but I didn't expect this kind of beauty. I really didn't. It was really spectacular. And sometimes you felt like you were on the surface of Mars. It was really a fantastic place. Another great national park. Boy, America's got some amazing national parks, doesn't it?
It does. And we've only scratched the surface.
Yeah, we barely scratched the surface. True. That is the California report. There's another video on San Diego beer. Check that out. Good?
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.